right? So I clicked on it, hold shift and click on the 2 top circles, right? So you see these circles right here? If I click on it and I hold shift, it allows you to select multiple items. Hold on a minute. So because I have these 2 selected, now I can drag it and now it creates a rounded half rounded rectangle where it doesn't affect the bottom. See, if I undo this for a second and say, for example, I just click on one of them and I just start dragging, it affects all, right? Well, if I click on it and then I drag, it affects that corner. Well, I want to do the top 2. So again, holding shift allows you to select both and then I can drag the top. Well, let me do it again. So I'll click on it and then hold shift, click on the other one so they're both selected and drag the top, right? And then you just go from there. You know what I mean? So you can see right here, do the same for the bottom right hand corner, no need to hold shift. So I mean, I take it step by step and then you just create, and there's your body, right? And then I go from there to number 5. So in the end, you'll have something like this. Really, once you do the penguin, guys, the star, you use the star tool. The polygon, use the polygon tool. The bubbles, use the ellipse. The square where the penguin is standing on, that's a rectangle. So that stuff is given. You'll know how to, I mean, you just did those shapes yesterday, right? It's kind of editing a little bit, creating little rounded rectangles or rounded triangles, all right? The instructions will take you step by step, right? If you have a question, let me know. It's fairly simple. I get some students that grasp it real quick, and then some students they take, it takes them a little bit longer. Like I said, I have the video or the written instructions. If you're watching a video, I recommend stopping, going, and not just trying to watch like 15 minutes of, it's not 15 minutes, but watching 3 minutes of it and then trying to mimic what I just did, right? But this is what you'll create, right? It'll look something similar to that. Go through it, and then we'll start adding a little bit more and more and more. And it's not just, Illustrator is not just building little like cartoon type of drawings like this. It's more about creating logos. But I just try to find something, try to make it as simple as possible, but adding a little bit more each time. So. If you have any questions on this, let me know. If you need help downloading it, let me know. In. Again, to zoom in, Command plus. Also, if you need to undo something, right? Command Z. That's the shortcut for undo. And you're going to start getting in the habit of all these commands. You know what I mean? If I press V, it's a command to bring up the selection tool.
You don't want to use the instructions?
Well,
Get the instructions. That way we can do it.
I'm trying to find it. It says,
You know how to download the instructions?
oh, for the
Again, to zoom in, Command plus. Also, if you need to undo something, right? Command Z. That's the shortcut for undo. And you're going to start getting in the habit of all these commands. You know what I mean? You can sit there and just continuously draw. Then if you have any questions on it, let me know. Right? There's some turn it in, so everybody else should be practice. And if you make a mistake, undo, right? And the paintbrush, but with continuously draw. There is a tool like that, which is the pencil tool and the paintbrush, but with those. I don't think it should take the whole period. Although it is shorter because of what I guess the delay, but still, it's not too difficult. So pretty much what you're doing is, it's an easier way to use a pen tool and create curves. So I wanted to show you the pen tool, and now I'll go and show you how to use the curvature tool along with the pen tool. So if you look, right, you're going to go ahead and download this file, which I gave you on Google Classroom. But with the pin tool, right, you're going to create your anchor points. So for me, I clicked on, the point. So same thing with the crown, right? I'll click on the point, I'll click on the point. I'm not worried about the curves just yet. You know what I mean? And I'll change that where it doesn't have a fill. Because you want to be able to see where you're tracing. See, right now I can't tell. See, and I did too much. So anyway, what you can do is once you have those anchor points, right, you're going to take the curvature tool, which looks just like the pin tool, except it has a little bit of a curve, and that's where you're going to pull your pieces. So I have this line, all I have to, hold on, I need to activate it. Alright, so I'm going to use the curvature tool, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the lines, and you can make your curves. I think this is a little bit, an easier way. Your curves will probably look better using this way. A lot of my students, after I kind of show them, they use this instead, this technique. And then also, if for whatever reason, say for like here, I missed this edge right here, right? So what I can do is I can click on it, create like another anchor point, but if you notice it's a curve, if you double click, it turns to a point. So when you double click on a piece, it goes to a point. If you double click, it goes back to a curve. And that's all you're doing, right? You're creating your anchor points, and then you sit there and you pull these pieces to kind of get in line with your sketch, right? So I think, like I said, it's an easier way for you to get through. A lot of my students that I showed them today, they finished it real quick, and it wasn't too difficult for them.
So you
know what I mean? So yeah.
So you click and pull.
Yeah, you click and pull. So you're gonna make your anchor points first. You're not worried about the curves. What you're wanting to do is you're putting the anchor points at you're putting the anchor points at the edges or the corners. You know what I mean? And that's what you're doing. So that way, in the end, you'll have your EP. It's a logo for the English Premier League, which is soccer league in England. But I use it because of the amount of curves that it has. You know what I mean? I try to find a logo to give you guys that represents a lot of curves, so you get a better understanding. So you'll download this file, just like how we've done in the past couple of files, and you're going to create, and even on the set of instructions, I show you how it kind of looks like. You know what I mean? So there is a set of written instructions. I show you. So this is what it looks like, and then when you start using the curvature, you start pulling it, and you'll create that, that curved look. So if you have any questions on this, let me know. It's not difficult. I think this is an easier way than the pen tool, right? I want to show it to you, and then we'll kind of now start creating certain things, right? We'll start using the pen tool and the pencil and all these other tools, and we'll start creating rather than just tracing, right? It's just, just some of the basics, some of the basic drawing tools. And I wanted to get the pin out the way, and I wanted to get the curvature out the way. So let me go over as far as what you're doing today, and I'll show you some examples. It's pretty much similar to what I did, not the last time, because the last time I gave you a step-by-step, but the one before that where it was kind of like a challenge, right? So I want to see what you can come up with. So every so often I'll go ahead and do something along these lines. This way it's not always just me telling you exactly what to do and how to do it and where to move and stuff like that. I can see what you come up with. McDonald's at M, the answer you're done, like McDonald's, you tell, you know what I mean, unless it gets really big. That's the idea for it. So you want to think of a brand or a restaurant or a sports team. Concept. I like the concept of it. The name of it is Glass Production Company. So what the student did was, rather than just incorporating a regular G, like most of my students would, if I told you, okay, you're going to create a logo for a glass company, they probably would just do a basic G, right? This student made the idea of that the glass is, it fits into those areas, like it's broken, or they're trying to fix it, and stuff like that. L with the lotus, with the fun. And if you look, guys, these are just all shapes, you know what I mean, with the pen tool. You click, you pull, you make it randomly. The students made the shapes with the pen tool and the curvature. Next one, this probably could have, the curve right here could have probably been slightly more curved, but I like the concept of it. Or orbit space has the O, but not just the O, right? It has the ring around it with another couple more, guys. So this one, a tree, which is called trees org, whoever the student did it on. Cookies production did this morning, and I already posted it. So what this student did was took a photo of a broken board, lightened it up, and then traced over it. So then once they traced it, they had the broken board. So then they just duplicated that, got rid of the drawing, right? Got rid of the sketch, or they got rid of the source. Took this, they got rid of the source. They got rid of the source. Took this broken board, duplicated it, made up of an S, and it's called Splinter Skate Company, right? So this is what you're doing. A single letter logo for a company, you want to, for the letter, right? Some activity for it. If you do something along those lines, then the name of it is Glass Production Company. So what they made the idea of that the glass is, it fits another concept. Here, Lotus Productions. So they use the word Lotus Productions that it forms an L with the lotus, with the flower, right? The next one, and if you look, guys, these are just all shapes. You know what I mean? With the pen tool, you click, you pull, you make it randomly. The students made the shapes with the pen tool and the curvature. Next one, this probably could have, the curve right here could have probably been slightly more curved, but I like the concept of it. Or orbit space has the O, but not just the O, right? It has the ring around it with maybe a moon or something revolving around it. A couple more, guys. So this one makes up of an S. This one is a T made up of a tree, which is called trees org, whoever the student did it on. Cookies production, and then the last one, this one my student did this morning, and I already posted it. So what this student did was took a photo of a broken board, lightened it up, and then traced over it. So then once they traced it, they had the broken board. So then they just duplicated that, got rid of the drawing, right? Got rid of the sketch, or the source. They got rid of the source logo. It's a little a new logo for the rest of the challenges will be regarding. So you're making a single letter logo. It's a little bit different. Create a new a tree, incorporate whatever. So it's a little different. You have to kind of think of it twice now. You have to think of the letter, and then what are you going to use and how are you going to use it to form that letter and make it stand out from someone else, right? So it's open, whatever you want to do, just make sure it always looks good, or at least the concept is there.